Hello, everyone. Welcome for being here for this laugh and learn about baggage. Now, I'm not talking about luggage. No, I'm talking about baggage, which is, and we'll define that here in a little bit. But please welcome the amazing Lindo de Gonzalez. So,
And Wanda, of course.
And Wanda, of course, yes.
Who absolutely cannot be left out of anything.
No. Well, and if she is left out, she will weasel her way back in.
Weasel? She'll shriek and scream her way back in. What are you talking about? There's no letting her out of anything.
Yes. So Linda's links are below, as well are mine. And Hershe was unable to be here, so we are moving forward. And I want to remind everyone that this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. There's been some talk. By the way, I just launched a merch store.
Did you?
Yes. So it's in my
live now?
It is live. So you can get amazing things. Somebody suggested that I have a Seek Professional Assistance Really shirt made.
Oh my God! I'd totally buy that.
I'm liking that. I like that
too. I want a T-shirt. I want a triple extra large T-shirt that I can just swim in and yeah.
Perfect. And so links to that are in my About You section. I will get into the habit of including it in the regular things. Really easy to find. Please like and subscribe to both of our channels.
Yes, please.
Because it does help us. And Linda, what do you have coming up on your channel?
This afternoon, I'll be doing readings with Diana Bowles. Whom many of you will know from Akashic Adventures. Yes. She is a fabulous reader. And so I kind of was holding back from inviting either Viviani or Diana to my channel because I thought, well, maybe they won't be in, but they're both interested. And so I'll be having them both as guests.
Beautiful.
Because they're both fabulous readers. They really are.
Beautiful. And we are simulcasting this on Tarot Stash and Lindo de Gonzalez. So if you're not seeing all the chat, we see it all. And
yes. And we know it all.
We do know it all. We do know it all. Let's say hi to a few people. We have Hypnicity, Linnea, Bobby Fierro, Aquila B24, Jane the Seeker Tarot. Shenanigans is here.
Yeah, Shenanigans
is here. Donna O'Brien. Lewis, is it Louise or Lois?
Lois.
Lois is here. And Lady Yava J from Germany.
Eva. I think that's Eva. I think so. That would be my wild guess.
Okay. Denise Fletcher Tarot is here. Hello, Denise. And Jazz has arrived. And Madame Maru is here. And so, yes, like Eva, you are correct. Of course, Linda is correct.
That was just a guess. Because I speak French.
So, and because I'm going to do that thing, I am going to put into my chat the link to the. Oh, Jane is working very hard here. So I just put up the link to the.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And I just have to say, there's been some new stuff added since I showed it on Tuesday. So.
Okay. Oh, look, it's a fellow Canadian. Hi there.
Linda, good to see you. And,
welcome.
I am with Bobby on Monday.
Oh, so yeah.
Nice, yes. And then also because, I really enjoy having these conversations. These are important conversations
Yes, I do.
And I have a good conversation coming up with Medium Betsy Palmer on Monday, where we're talking about understanding your baseline. So we've talked about the importance of knowing when you're off balance. Well, what's your baseline? What is your baseline? So we're going to talk about that, and so that'll be good. And then being comfortable in the gray area is a show that I have scheduled with Hershe and Medium Betsy Palmer.
Ooh, nuance. I love it.
Yes. And then on Tuesday, I have Olivia Rose back on. Olivia Rose is the amazing artist. Oh, look.
Oh,
Yes. We're talking about the Mermaid's Purse Oracle on Tuesday. So I've had Olivia Rose on there. Olivia also has a new Kickstarter out. So yes. So it's really, really good. So, and then Friday, tomorrow, Richie and I are doing reading, Tara the Stashway. We're doing readings focusing on the senses because we've been doing that conversation.
Yeah. And so what's tomorrow's?
Tomorrow, we're combining all of the senses, and we are actually, we wanted to combine, and the readings that we're doing are we're going to pay very close attention to how the senses are involved with that. So, and then a yes/no readings with Thomas and Hershe tomorrow afternoon. So,
Gerald, do you ever stop?
I do stop. And so it's true.
Because honestly, that's an exhausting schedule.
Well, not really, but okay. Yes, it is. I am so busy. I do this for all of you because you are important.
I left myself wide open for that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Jane will be right back because I'll be back doing lives when I have glasses. I was sending Jane some pictures of glasses that could be possibilities for her. So I'm not sure she liked them. Rossi is here. Liz and Awe is Liz and Awe couldn't see your thumbs up.
I don't know why, because I've got people in my chat right now. Yeah. So you know,
maybe go out and come back in to Linda's channel.
Yeah. I can't see any reason. It is up and running as expected.
Yeah.
Do you know the kind of glasses I want? I want the kind like Randy Rainbow has, or like Dame Edna. Do you remember Dame Edna?
I do.
And yeah.
So we are talking. This is a laugh and learn for those of you who've not. Oh, and I did see a few other people that I may not have said hello to. My apologies.
James
is here. J Cat Lady.
Lynn Uriyama.
Yep. So beautiful to see so many. Jamie, Wandering Mountain Bark Path is here. And MLR I've had chat issues all day and for many weeks now. You know, if you're on a phone, I've had to make sure that I have updated the app to be able to do it, and I have to make sure my browser is accurate, is the most up to date. So hi Jamie, and by the way, Jamie and I actually have merch on the store. Just saying. But this idea about baggage came up from a conversation that you and I were having. We were doing readings about it, and then Hershe got involved. And so that video is linked below if you want to go find that. Anything you want to say before I get into the questions?
Baggage. The thing about life is that it changes us.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the tricky thing about baggage is that so this this is a complicated thought for me. It's a complicated thought because
Okay.
I'm pretty simple. When it's baggage, it means you haven't integrated it. It means it's not part of you. It means it's something you're carrying that doesn't maybe necessarily belong to you, but you're wearing it. You're carrying it. Okay.
Mhm.
You've got it. I don't know. I didn't get much farther because it's a complicated thought. And those kinds of thinkings I have to do in little bits because I'm not that good at complicated thinking.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Well, an MLR said, I'm technically homeless and staying with some folks, but I'm surrounded by literal baggage.
Aha, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And here you go. Milani said, that was a great description.
Well, thank you, Nalani.
Yeah. So here's the question for people, and feel free if you so choose, and if you're watching the playback, feel free to put in, what is your definition of baggage? And we've got Linda's. I think baggage for me is one of those things that it's stuff that is in my surroundings. It's taking some of my energy, although I've not done anything with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's oftentimes it's clutter.
Mm-hmm.
But I love how you were saying that it's stuff that we've not incorporated.
We haven't made it part of ourselves. Like it's not part. Sorry, I wasn't even thinking about baggage in a physical way. I was thinking about like the stuff that we carry from our life experiences, from our lives, from our lived.
Our experiences. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, hypnicity. I like that. Stuff I no longer need, but I'm afraid to let go of. I got a house full of it, honey.
Yeah.
And I'm working towards letting it go.
Yeah. And well, an MLR says, yes, I feel I've been having to go through things and integrate in small batches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Freed is here. Hello, Linda and Gerald, watching YouTube. They are talking about the cosmos. We are not alone.
Yeah. Those are those guys that went in front of the congressional a congressional committee of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So also some shenanigans said the past existing in the present.
Well, but it always does, right? Are we not, as we are now, the sum of all of our past experiences and feelings and everything?
Yes.
So,
yes.
But did we integrate it? Is it part of us? Or are we carrying our mother's anger and guilt?
Mm-hmm. Good questions.
I said a little too much there. Sorry.
No, you didn't say a little too much. Lois has said baggage, emotional, keeps me from moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's all connected. The physical, emotional, mental, spiritual.
Yeah.
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 And
Higgins, that's right. Ouch.
Yeah.
For me too.
Baggage to me is unnecessary emotional hindrances that block my true potential.
Very good.
And Maru has said mental impositions that help us survive but are no longer accurate or useful. That's insightful.
Yes.
Yes. And you're spot on, Linda, by the way, just in case you didn't know that.
Oh, well, thank you. It's a spot that still hurts, clearly.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Bobby shared, I was homeless for a long while in the 90s. Now I'm a home owner. Things changed once I stopped being afraid of success. Yes. And there are lots of things that create baggage and have us dealing with baggage. And I know Ange and Rain just did a video, or they're still doing a video about fear of success. And I'm not a professional. So if you've got baggage or you need help identifying baggage, find help, get some assistance. There are people who who can support you. I do think that the idea of baggage is it may seem small to us, or it may appear small. It can be very, very heavy.
Yes, absolutely.
And we don't understand it, how it has that much power and that much weight, but it does. It's important to see that.
It colors our relationships with ourselves primarily. We lose a lot of compassion for ourselves. We lose a lot of love for ourselves.
Yes.
And therefore lose a lot of love for others and capacity to connect with others, because we've lost the capacity to connect with ourselves. The baggage is in the way.
Good point.
So we can't connect with ourselves anymore.
And Bobby shared, I sought a lot of professional help.
Good for you, Bobby.
Yes.
I admire that.
Yes. Yeah. MLR said, and those of us who are extra sensitive feel the emotional, psychic energy and things. Yeah. Absolutely. That's well said. Nalani said, I was an oops. Mom didn't expect to have a fifth child. She was very afraid because she was 38 when she had me, and that was considered risky in 1960.
Yeah, it was.
Sure. And see, and what's interesting is, as you point out something there, Nalani, that baggage is sometimes things that we never realized that we're carrying because it was given to somebody else. We're carrying someone else's baggage. So yeah. Jazz said, sometimes overthinking past becomes a baggage to me, a repetition of a cycle, like a burden I have to put down to walk ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, because with the past, all you can do with the past is learn from it. And once that's the only point. This is what I tell myself to stop my own monkey mind from going crazy. Go back to the past and your actions and review them. Yes, that's only useful if you're going to learn from it. If what you're going to do is beat yourself up because you should not have been so insensitive, you should not have been so whatever, mouthy. I'm just thinking of all the things people have said to me that I shouldn't be. Okay. I should have been more tactful. I heard that a lot. Because stuff just falls out of my face. It always has. There's not a big filter. Yeah. I work hard, but there's not a big filter. I'm sorry. Yeah. So the only point to going back to, don't move in, don't go look and see what you can learn from it. Yeah. And then put that into action and then walk away. And maybe in a month or a year or a decade, you'll go back and look at that same situation and learn something different from it. But don't just sit there, okay? Don't just sit there and go, oh, I'm an idiot. I should have known. I should have done better. I knew this. What was I thinking? Don't do that. That is so destructive. That is not good for your growth. Okay. You can only grow from strength.
Yeah. And what I will say is, what can you do with baggage? You can do lots of things with baggage.
Oh,
you
sure.
can leave it on the side of the road. You can recycle it. You can put it in your
airport and let it get lost.
Yes. You can also leaf through it, learn from it, and then release it and understand what it is that's there. And this is not a one and done thing. I mean, sometimes it can be, but it's not oftentimes a one and done. So we've got we've got some really good points. And
Yeah.
with my baggage of I've always let it go. The past is the past in the past. Paul, that's beautiful. Not everybody can do that, and sometimes it's really surprising when the past shows up for me and goes, "Hi, I'm still here." It's like, oh gosh,
Hello.
yeah. Diane G said, "Interesting. We hold on to emotions, and trapped emotions can be passed down for generations."
Absolutely, Diane. Excellent insight.
Yeah. And Myra is here. Hello. And Bobby said, "There's no difference between accessing past experiences and being trapped in them."
There's a difference. There's
a difference. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, trapped in the past, Charles Dickens' Great Expectations, that horrible, spooky, haunted dining room with the wedding feast all laid out. Whoa, there's an image of trapped in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a big difference. There's a difference between accessing past experiences and being trapped in them. Yes. And that's a lot of times professionals can help you with that. A lot of hard work, a lot of support. I also think it's important to notice when we're starting to deal with the past, that noticing that that's when it's happening is a key thing, because that gives us the ability to unwind it a little bit.
Gives us insight. And Madame Maru is a fellow Discworld fan.
Some of it's like traveling trunk on Discworld. It shows
it's a
up
trunk with legs.
Okay.
And it follows after you, and it'll always find you.
Yeah.
It's the luggage that never gets lost.
I'll let you say that word.
Epigenetics.
Epigenetics.
I started reading a book about epigenetics, and I got about 3 chapters in, and it was like quite technical and very heavily into the actual science of it. And I went, yeah, no, I can't. I still have the book, but I can't read it.
Hi, Roxy. Kiba Lions here. And here's something. The one thing you don't do is pass it off to someone else. It happens, though. It happens.
Yeah.
And we need to try. We want to try to, not do that and unwind.
Yeah, interesting. You should bring that up, because the word that comes to my mind right now is triggers, and triggers are baggage. Yes.
Yes.
And so, who's responsible for those triggers? Is it the people around you who can't say the word? I don't know, telescope, because it'll trigger you? Or is it you who needs to get to get the therapy that you need? You need to get the help you need to be able to cope with having the word telescope in your environment. That's what you need to do.
And part of that is having awareness around what is it about telescope that that gives you a particular response, because a trigger is just a response.
Yeah.
And so
it's a fancy word for an emotional response. And Lady Eva, haunted is another word for trigger.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
Trigger is the manifestation of haunted. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. You're right.
Okay. And Linda says, my baggage is guilt of what I feel I should have done better in the past, how I could have done things differently.
And you would have, if you could have, hold yourself in compassion.
You were just talking about that.
Yeah. Hold yourself in compassion.
Yeah.
If you're holding on to Catholic guilt, that is like particularly toxic. And at least that was my experience of it. And I had therapy. So just setting it out there.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So baggage. What steps do you take to identify the baggage, and is it yours? Oh, and Lois said EFT tapping is pretty great at minimizing emotional reactions to triggers.
Yeah. So so's EMDR. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of kind of quick, easy, cheap ways of dealing with things like that. But you still need to get to the root of it, right?
Well, Shenanigans was talking about, they were talking about passing it on unconsciously, this baggage, and said, my mom did not mean to pass anxiety to me by way of epigenetics, but her treatment of me as a child, where she yelled at me for having panic attacks, was her fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And as a child, we talked about this in human design. There's some on Monday, there's this idea of we have influences that are around us simply by our environment. So
yeah. And epigenetics is definitely one of them.
Yep.
The environment before we were even born, our parents' environment.
Yes. So what steps do you take to identify?
You're going to make me answer that, aren't you? Identify my baggage. Usually the big identifier for me, the big hello, is my reaction to someone, whether it's really positive or really negative, or my reaction to a tone of voice. I became aware just very recently that the reason that there's a tarot reader who's an excellent reader, I will not name them, but my reaction to them was negative. And I realized, I realized that I was caught on the way this individual spoke and their vocal mannerisms. And just the way that they spoke just put me right back in 3rd grade in front of Sister Maria. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But it took me, I mean, I didn't even look at it. I just thought, oh yeah. Okay. At first I didn't look at it. I just thought, okay, so I'm not really vibing with this reader, and that's okay. I don't have to vibe with everybody. But I had it wasn't just about, and it took me a while to come to this awareness. Okay. It didn't just sort of happen overnight. It wasn't just that I had a neutral reaction that I don't vibe with this reader. It was, I don't like this reader.
Okay.
Okay. And that was the whole thing. Is my reaction to the people and events around me tells me no, it wasn't you, Bobby. Jeez. And you'll never hear it from me who it was. No, I'm not going to identify. It hits that spot where the baggage is, it goes in there, and I go, I'm feeling something. What could this be? Is this a reaction to some, am I feeling really positive or negative about this person? Because it goes both ways, right?
Yes. And it is one of those things that when we are identifying baggage, first of all, if you have baggage, do you call it that? But it is an important thing to see, I like to go, is this mine? That's something that we've talked about previously. Medium Betsy Palmer brought that up. And I was learning this through some Buddhist practices and Buddhist studies. Is this mine?
Yes.
And it's just a question to identify the origin. It's not a value statement. Is this really me?
Yeah.
Or not? And there are lots of things that could whose monkey is it? Whose monkey is it? So
good one.
Yeah. And so I think it's an important thing. Colorful Foresight is here.
Hi, Foresight.
So and baggage, how it can work. And Sylvia brought up, what about the light workers getting humanities baggage?
I don't believe that's true.
I think we have to go, is this mine? And if
Yeah.
it's not mine, then it's not mine. You can recycle it, you can release it, but don't be holding stuff on that is not yours. It's not for your greatest good. So
here's Garden Chicken. Hi.
Hello.
And hang on. Someone say Shenanigans. Shenanigans said something. Thank you.
When you get mad at yourself for spilling milk, but you forgave the other person who also spilled milk, is it a lack of self-compassion or an expectation of perfectionism? That's the problem. It's a very, very interesting thought. Yeah. And Mimi said, I used to carry their other people's bags thinking I was being a good Christian.
Yes. And that's part of what I meant when I was talking about Catholic guilt.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah. And yeah. And Sylvia, interesting. I mean, your question is a very thoughtful question, but you have to have ethics around it and understanding the type of work that you do. Is it fair to remove a lesson from somebody? I'm not going to do that consciously. So
no. It is wrong to stand in the way of someone else's lesson.
Yeah. My issue is that I am much harder on myself than I am on others, but I am slowly learning self-care.
Good for you, Lady Eva.
That is wonderful.
Lesson. Yeah. That's a hard lesson.
Yeah. And that's the self-compassion. Slow down enough to go, wait a minute, is this mine? And then I'm always, this idea of is it mine? It may be mine. I still have the choice not to do anything with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And most of us don't do anything with it until it becomes so painful that we have to. And until it hurts so much and we don't have any friends left and our family doesn't want to talk to us.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it. And even then, there are people who will dig their heels in and say, I don't understand. And nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. What? I didn't do anything wrong. I was a good whatever.
Mimi said, I'm learning to observe myself and gently process.
Yeah.
That's a very, very important thing.
Yeah. And journaling, someone just mentioned journaling can be helpful. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But the thing that's important is self-awareness and to notice when things change, when you have a feeling about another person or when you have a whether it's positive or negative, okay, it doesn't matter. Because something's coming in. Sorry, go ahead.
No, we got welcome it in. I do.
The first spiritual law is to know yourself. Know what brings you happiness. Know what brings you grief. Know what brings you to anger. That's it. That's what I got. I forgot to ask who that. It's from Archangel Sarael.
Okay.
Sarael? Is that right? Did I get that right? Sarael. Okay.
That's cool. Something that, I was chatting with Jeffrey about this, and one of the things about baggage is there's no statute of limitations. This is very problematic because you can carry around shit forever. And
oh my God.
Again,
third grade.
yeah, I mean, and it could be, at your first birthday or something like that. But it is what it is, and it's going to stay there until you process it through, or you just cut the ties. So, yeah. And Jeffrey also said you can't properly heal from something if you're holding on to it, which doesn't mean you have to forget about it. It means you have learned something from that and you can move on.
Yes. That's it.
And I love that idea.
Part of you. That's when it becomes part of you. You learned the lesson. You learned everything that you were supposed to learn from it. You got the lesson. It's part of you now. Now you can move on.
Yes. So I also think it's helpful for us to what? Yes, we get baggage or
no statute of limitations and probably no weight limit either. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's infinite, honey.
That's true.
Infinite.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting because you bring up that idea of weight. And until we see that we have baggage and that we're carrying it around and we release it, we may not know how heavy it has been. So there's a beauty in processing it.
Yes.
So, but so okay. And Jeffrey also said, if you don't move on, you remain the victim and can't live your life to the fullest.
Absolutely. And when you're the victim, you're still under someone else's power. Like someone else still has power over you, because that's what victim means, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing about stepping out of victimhood is claiming your own power, empowering yourself.
Yeah. So baggage then is, baggage removes your power. So by processing this and identifying it, and if it's yours or if it's not yours, making sure you only are working on yours, that is a way to return your power.
Yeah.
So, okay. So just a lot of great chat. So, so my older sister is like that. She can do no worry,
no wrong.
Hope she's not watching. I'm in trouble. Well, Paul, sorry, I will remove that. Learning to be an active and compassionate listener. We need to offer advice. No need to offer advice unless asked. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard not to sometimes, because it seems so obvious when people are saying, oh my God, I don't know what to do, this, that, and the other. And you're going, I don't understand how you don't know what to do, because it's so clear to me. But keep your mouth shut, Linda.
Yes.
If they're not asking, you're not telling.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because if they figure it out, it's more meaningful to them, and then they can do something with it.
Exactly.
And wait sometimes requires that we wait. Hello, Amilda.
It's not always, sometimes in the process, like sometimes in therapy or in healing. Let's talk about healing. Sometimes, not every time is a good time to tackle it. Nope. Sometimes there's other stuff going on in your life that you're not in a good space, that you're just not in a good space to tackle it. And so you need to wait. Yeah.
Mimi followed that up, or asking the person, do you want feedback or do you just need me to listen?
Yeah.
And, my rule of thumb is to just start off from the listening mode.
Yeah.
And because sometimes, I like it when people listen to me because I can solve my own problems. Sometimes I need people to reflect back to me what they're hear me saying. That's what a good therapist does. It's what a great friend does.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's an interesting question. Roxy said, "Is baggage a vision you can't get out of your head?" LOL. Merlin, I was told was one who met me on a bridge with an intense soul lifting love. And I wonder why Merlin's. LOL. Is that baggage?
Yeah. Well, okay. So you want to talk about baggage from previous lives, and that's like really complicated.
Yeah.
And really very, very specific to individuals. And so I think that's not a question that we can.
Yeah,
Like your question, Roxy, is not one that I feel comfortable tackling in public on an eternal media, like one that will last forever, or may as well, and is global and public and all those other things, because I just don't. So I'm not even going to try to answer that question.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And I think that's a good thing to explore with a professional, somewhat in private, because it's there. And Bobby shared, we all have different ways that we accumulate our baggage. That's true. And we all have different ways of unpacking that baggage.
Yeah, that's true too.
And if it works for you, it's the right way.
Yeah.
I would also say what worked for you last week or 10 years ago may not work for you now, because we are different. We grow and we change.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we do need to feel heard, Hypnocity. That's right.
Yeah.
Bye, baby.
So, okay. I've had people get on to me when I simply vent, like a conversation with God book. Do you want to answer, or are you just venting? I am venting. I think if you know what you're doing, that's really helpful, because it gives people an opportunity. So, bye, Bobby. So, yeah.
And I mean, to get back into the previous life baggage, we do get some baggage. Like I have read for people who have had a pain in their shoulder, and I've seen a lifetime where they got hit by an arrow and died from that wound, and that came back, and that's a real thing. If you want to think about it in terms of baggage, that's a real thing. People bring fears into this life from experiences in a previous lifetime. That's a real thing. If you have a huge fear of, I don't know, water, I'm just trying to think of something here. I don't have anybody in mind in particular. If you have a fear of water, or a fear of I don't know, spiders or something, the fear of the dark is pretty much a universal human thing. Then that very well could be from experiences in a previous lifetime. If it doesn't get in the way of your current lifetime, I mean, pain in your back, clearly that would be something you'd want to look at. But we can clear that kind of baggage for you. It's a spiritual experience. It doesn't mean you have to go to therapy, but you do have to find a reader who does good clearances, and can clear that from your soul.
And again, for entertainment purposes only, I don't think it's a one and done. I think it's something that you need to. It's like any healing. You have to remove the poison.
Yeah.
Then you have to clean it, and then you have to tend to the wound so it can heal.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
So, So do pay attention to that. This is not a one and done thing. So something else Jeffrey said is you still have to learn how to function in life. You have to learn to love yourself so you in turn can love.
Yep.
You know.
You're right, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I love it. You're right, Jeffrey. Did you hear that? I married a good man, didn't I?
You did. You absolutely did.
Yes.
You absolutely did marry a wonderful man.
Yes. So, we're at 45 minutes already, and we've been talking about baggage, and this is that stuff, you define baggage for you. Stuff that is taking away your energy. It's not allowing you to move on. It could be from yesterday. It could be from 50 years ago. And you've identified, ethnicity. We'll see about that. So hi, Mary Thornberry. And by the way, everybody who can't see, ethnicity said, no, I married the best man. I said, well, okay. So, and Christina is here and Mary Thornberry. So now what? We've identified the baggage, and you're trying to identify, is it ours? Oh, bye, Paul. But then now what? Now what? Do you want me to take this one? Do you want me to take this one first?
You go. You start this time.
Now what? Well, it depends. What do you and here. It depends. Everybody take a sip.
Oh, good idea.
Now what? I think a good thing with the now what is you really need to take some stock, and you need to go, okay, because there's a bit of a prioritization. What is it? What small things can I do now that can have a lasting impact? I like to seek professional assistance when I'm doing this. It's really, really helpful because I'm too close to it. How the heck am I going to figure this out? I'm right here with it, or it's back here, and it's like through me. It's like, and but I think so. For now, what is I think acknowledging that this is what you're seeing and recognizing it as soon as it's impacting you, then you can start to address what to do with it in that moment. There's lots of amazing ways to remove this baggage. Cord cutting, writing it down, journaling, automatic writing, praying, meditating. They're amazing, amazing things.
Yeah.
If it works for you, it works.
Yeah.
So what about you? Now what?
Well, I did enough therapy that I can recognize when stuff's going off and getting in my way. And I tried enough things like tapping and EMDR and stuff like that too. And so I know how to use that. But I'm still experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning about what works for getting rid of baggage. Mostly, like in the situation that I described earlier, mostly just bringing it to awareness is enough. But there is some really deep-seated, there's some deep-seated baggage that I will have forever that will keep coming up. Abandonment, because I was adopted as a baby. Okay. And that will come up again and again. And I'm not recycling it by looking for relationships where I will be abandoned anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that question. I can tell you what I do, and it seems pretty simple to me. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not aware enough. Mostly it just sort of happens. Like if it's something that bugs me, then I'll do something about it. If it's a momentary thing that's not really getting in my way, then I'll let it go, unless I can see other stuff coming down the roads where it will impact, you know?
Yeah. I think I think you said something really important is that recognizing it really can be enough, because you go, huh, that's not mine, or that's baggage. That's not helping me right now.
Yeah.
Because I would guess everybody who's watching this video live or in the playback is probably fairly intelligent.
Yeah, I don't think we have any dummies around.
And I think if you're kind to yourself and you have a bit of compassion and you go, okay, now what? What can be done about this? Can anything be done about this? Do I want to spend time with this? Do I not want to spend time with this? Is this statute of limitations really rearing its ugly head? Or can I go, you know what? I'm selling that one off. I'm putting that in the recycling bin.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But
that one's going to the dumpster.
Yeah. And so, okay. Yeah. A lot of love for EFT. Some Shenanigans said, I wrote a book as a way to let go of the energy and leave it in the past. That's powerful.
Whoa. Okay.
Very powerful.
That's a major kind of major therapy right there.
Well, yes, and I think there could be an opportunity for it to help someone else.
Yeah.
Because when we know we're not alone, that's a big help. Because somebody actually said that they were also an adoptee.
Yeah, I saw that.
So.
And that's a whole baggage all by itself, right?
Yeah. And so knowing what it is, now what, knowing when that baggage starts to show up in everyday life, when you don't want it, or it's not invited to the party. So, yeah. Oh, and there will be more modalities.
Yes.
To learn. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Reiki is another good one. I mean, I know that people usually think of Reiki as or energy healing as that kind of as a way of getting at physical, energetic things that are manifesting physically. But it also works really well for emotional regulation.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There is a time for letting go. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And Sylvia from Color for Foresight said I was trying to butter her up because I was saying everybody who's watching this video is intelligent. So here you go. Mary brought up a point of I also think changing the way you look at baggage, because you may be able to discard it, but if you react the same to new baggage, then I guess we did not make the proper change to really move into it.
It was never integrated. The lesson was never learned from that baggage. You didn't open it up and look through it and find the jewel that you wanted to keep and keep. You did not find the lesson. And so it came again with new baggage, and guess what?
Well, yes. And, reframe it. You came with another opportunity to do something different.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. That's exactly true.
So, and so you're welcome, Karen. And Shenanigans said, the best part about Reiki is that we are all capable of wielding it. So
that's true.
Yes. Yep. Yes. When we stop reacting to it, and so okay,
Yes.
yeah, new paths open. New paths open. That's a really really
Yeah.
good thing.
Because
So
when you're reacting, you're not choosing, right? You're not standing in your power, as they say. You are you're just, it's just an instinctive, reflexive action
mhm,
that you're taking. Sorry, Wanda. And um and that's not usually helpful to do that. It's usually much more helpful to be able to take a step back and consider what it is that's going on and how
yeah,
you want to participate in there and not just react.
yeah, yeah,
Reacting isn't usually very helpful at all.
yeah. And
Okay, so here's Imelda. I
yeah,
adopted.
I'll pop that up if that's okay. I
Oh,
adopted
thank
my son when he was 14 months old, and he always knew, but he still struggled.
yeah,
Has met his bio dad. He met his
yeah,
siblings from mom when he visited her in hospice.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always knew, apparently. Um, and but when I was adopted, there was a big stigma about it because where I grew up, adopted kids were bastards. And other little kids would let you know. I mean, the adults would, you know,
I'm
what would
really sorry that that happened to you. That makes
that's
me
okay.
very angry. That
Yeah,
makes me, I have a very visceral response to that. And I want to go back there and I want to stick up for you. And I want to tell people,
they were
mind your own
4-year-olds.
damn business.
Yeah, they were I think I was 3 or 4 at the time, and it was other little kids. And of course, now I know they heard that from their parents. At the time, it was just little kids that were being bullies, and
Yeah.
but but the but it is a struggle, that's true. And even when you're chosen and wanted and picked you out from all the other little babies in the hospital, well, that's bullshit. But anyway, it's still a struggle. And yes,
Yes.
I didn't meet my bio father because he was dead, but I met my mother and some siblings. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah. He had made a family. That dad came from one family. I came from
aw,
another, and he did too. So that's
that's
nice.
nice. That's
So,
lovely.
and Pamela Batchelor is here. Hello, Pamela.
Hi, Pamela.
A lifetime of dealing with abandonment and a broken heart. I've learned that
Yeah,
it has been a lifelong journey.
yeah,
It's never gone, it's healed,
yeah,
but I can still be felt in the deepest
yeah,
of my core. Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to deal with death. It makes it hard to deal with friendships.
Mhm.
It makes it hard to deal with all kinds of relationships, really, with family relationships particularly. But yeah, you
Yeah.
know,
Mimi is saying, I love your protective spirit, Gerald. I
yes,
mean, I had a very visceral response to that. So y'all got to witness that. I do know in some therapies that that is sometimes what a therapist will do. The therapist will provide an opportunity for that child to feel protected and to have the support that they need. So,
Well,
and
I remember running home. Well, we were at my grandparents'. I remember running back home and asking my mother in French, because of course at the time I only spoke French. Um, what's a bastard? Because I didn't know what the word was, and
yeah,
she was all shocked, and she said, "Oh, where did you hear such a word?" And I said, "Little Ronnie and Donnie and they were all talking about this, um, uh, and that's what they called me." And she's going, "Well, that's wrong. That's not true. That's this. That's that. That's I mean, her response was pretty good.
yeah.
Actually, for my mother, it was a pretty good." And
Hmm.
I think she got on the phone and had a few words with people after that.
Good. That's nice.
Because
Yeah.
it never happened. At least I don't remember it happening again.
Good. Christina said, reacting out of old feelings and situations. I think,
Yeah.
I think an easier way to deal with old situations or relationships when these things come up, pull back into your own energy, own it, and hold space.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that holding space. And
Yeah.
for the other people who they are because they have part in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think that some of my baggage, other people do not know that they are part of my baggage.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
it necessary for me to tell them that? Not necessarily. Maybe, perhaps.
If you feel like it.
If you feel like it, but I think that's where having I think having that support is really very, very helpful. So, and Jane's like going, no. So,
oh, I remind somebody of their grandmother. Oh God, okay, I'm gonna dye my hair purple. Oh, you know, I have a bunch of adopted. What?
Could you do it in stripes if I send you dye?
You don't need to send me dye. I can just go down the street and get it. But yeah, I'll do it in stripes. What the hell? Why not? I actually have a whole bunch of adopted children, honorary children and grandchildren. I have 2 honorary grandchildren. So you can be a third if you want.
Pamela, you're wonderful. Yeah. And so, and
yeah, he really is.
Jane the Seeker's back. And I think, you know, it's really, really important. Oh, no, Linda, in a good way. Your personality is so much like her.
So. Oh, good. Thank you, Shenanigans. I appreciate Shenanigans is going to be on my show next Thursday. We're going to be talking about mudras, which I had only ever seen the word. I didn't really know what
you're stealing my idea for a show.
You can come too. Well, no, you can't.
I don't want to come. I'd rather be, I'd rather be in the chat.
You'd want to be in this chat. Yeah. Yeah. No, Shenanigans is going to be talking about mudras, which are hand positions. And this is from, oh my God, you bitch. I should be reading that and I don't have it.
By the way, if everybody, if everybody doesn't know, we're teasing each other.
Yes.
I actually have an email out to somebody about that too.
Yeah.
And, we can use 2 shows on mudras for sure.
Yeah. So it's going to be, next week's show is going to be different. We're not going to be doing any readings. Well, I know that the thumbnail is going to say readings and stuff, and maybe we will, but no, mostly I want her to talk about mudras and how we can use them. These very, very simple and anybody with hands can do this, to calm yourself, to ground yourself, to energize yourself, all kinds of things. So, yeah. So,
Silver Star Priestess knows her mudras. So
cool.
Yeah. What are mudras?
Okay. I don't know a lot about it because it's not next week yet. And Gerald has the book that I wanted to read. No, I'm just joking. I could have got that book too. And I probably will later today. Do you want to get down, baby? Here. There. Okay. There are ways of holding your hand to channel energy in a specific way. So you can hold your hands like this and you aim them, to your heart or to your throat, or you just have them on your lap. And it just changes your energy. So thank you. Hand positions for different energy.
Yeah. It's oftentimes yogic, and it can help with your health, for entertainment purposes only. It can help with your health and your meditation. So
yeah.
But I'm glad you've heard the word now.
Yeah. So, good. So,
thank you for being here. I'm glad you found the channel too.
Yeah, me too.
So
Yeah,
Okay.
so next week on my channel, Thursday at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern, next Thursday. So a week from today.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
great.
your hand antenna. I love that. I love that.
Ooh, Pamela for
Absolutely.
the win. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's great. So, because we are, yeah, that's really good, Pamela. So if there were a tarot card that resembles baggage, which one would it be?
Six of is it the 6 or the 8 of wands? I see the picture in my head. I forget what it is.
Is it the Six of Cups, the nostalgia card, the two kids?
No, it's carrying. It's carrying. It's rider. I don't have my they're on the shelf, put away nicely, because I tried to do some tidying. The 6 or 8 of wands. I'm sure they're wands.
Okay.
Maybe
Here,
it is the 10 of wands.
I was thinking the Ten of Wands.
Could be the
And the
10 of
reason
wands.
I was
I
thinking
have
of
an
the Ten of
image, but I can't
Wands,
count. That's it. Thank you.
okay, because this is, I mean, for me, it's a lot of the Ten of Wands. Is because when I see this, I tell people, put everything down, take a nap, drink some water, and then decide, do I need to pick this up? Is this serving me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
So,
10 of wands. That was it. Thank you so much for
okay.
reading.
And Lady Eva, my father was a ham radio operator. So he was very well known in the amateur radio world. So he was a big deal. So if I have to say that.
So when I lived on Baffin Island, we had a ham radio. I never operated it, but there was broadcast. No, it was we had a ham radio and a shortwave radio, and the shortwave radio used to broadcast these sets of numbers late at night, like at midnight, and I don't know what, just this voice droning numbers on and on for like half an hour, and then it would cut off, and then 2 hours later, a different voice would come up.
Yep.
Nobody could ever tell me what the hell those were.
Well, okay, yeah. Ten of Wands is the card of burden.
It is a card of burden. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just want to make sure, was there anything else that Jeffrey said that was so, again, remember, no statute of limitations, because you can carry around forever. So you still have to learn how to function in life. You have to learn to love yourself so you can in turn love others.
Yes. Yes, because that's our purpose, is love and service.
Yes. And that love, the demonstration of that love is different. It grows and it changes. It evolves as we do.
Yes.
Because sometimes the best way to love someone is to let them make their mistakes and not rescue
learn their lesson. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't stand in the way of a lesson.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for watching this. Laugh and learn about baggage. Baggage is something that many of us experience. It looks different for each person.
Yes.
And I'm not telling you if your baggage is good or bad baggage. Doesn't matter. It's your baggage. What you want to do with it, that's up to you. And I am a firm believer that the strongest people know when to ask for help. And they keep asking for help until they find the help they need.
Yeah.
So that perseverance is amazing.
Yeah.
So, Linda, do you have any last minute thoughts before we head off?
Love and compassion to yourself first.
Yes. Be nice to yourself, because that tells everyone how to treat you.
Yeah. Base your actions and your thoughts about yourself in love and compassion.
And remember, in a world where you can be anything, Be kind, including to yourself.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Love y'all.